Proverbs 24. Do not envy the wicked. Do not desire their company. Again, see how it goes on and on about who you should marry, who you should date, okay, how you should raise your children. It goes on and on about things that are trying to help you refine morality and wisdom, right? Wisdom and righteousness. What is wisdom? Okay, what is wisdom and morality and righteousness? It is being wise enough to refine your sense of what's right, so you move toward moral precision. That's why I say my religion is universal pinpoint and moral precision. That is the purpose of the Bible, and they confuse it because it's by Bel, who's a deity of confusion. Okay, he's a deity of sailors as well. That's why they're talking about on the high seas, a deity of merchants, seafaring merchants, sailors, confusion, storms, rape by deception. Okay, pirates. Okay, and these people pirate, and pirate is the word pirate is rape. It's scrambled. Okay, it's clear cut that Bel historically and Set were deities of rape. We have the rape of Isis in Egyptian mythology, and you can tell by the things he's a deity of: brute force, okay, trickery, storms, confusion. Okay, who uses brute force and confusion to get women? Okay, rapists. Okay, date rape, drugs, rape by force, you name it. 2, for their hearts plot violence and their lips talk about making trouble. So do not envy the wicked. Do not desire their company, for their hearts plot violence and their lips talk about trouble. Okay, their actions, they desire teaming up with the conformists. The state is full of brute force cops, military, UFC fighters, people like this who enforce the culture. So even if you're a hippie, because you're in a culture that the state propounds and allows historically, especially at certain times, they make it popular with their marketing campaigns, their propaganda campaigns, psychological operations, corporate marketing, what have you, okay, then you are in the spirit of those who are violent, including violent rapes, okay? You have to be in the Royal African Falcon Top Martial Arts Order, which means obeying God through me. And I'm the last king ever. After that, it's just satanic madness on this world with no way to connect to God, no culture to be right with God, and so on and so forth. Saying 21, by wisdom a house is built, and through understanding is established. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. The wise prevail through great power, and those who have knowledge muster their strength. So again, once we couple this with Proverbs 30, again, whose hands have gathered up the wind, who holds the wind in his fists, right? Okay, who has gone up to heaven and go back down. They're talking about spiritual power. The kingdom of heaven is not a matter of speech or talk. It is a matter of power. Okay, so who musters their spiritual power, right? Obviously, we're talking about a martial arts here. We're not talking about some angry guy in the military. We're not talking about a boxer. We're talking about a martial artist, mind, body, soul, and spirit, mustering moral precision. Not the idea of the state, the fake hero propaganda they're doing, but the true spiritual power from God. Okay, so again, the wise prevail through great spiritual power, and those who have knowledge muster their strength, their spirit. Surely you need guidance to wage war, and victory is won through many advisors. Wisdom is too high for fools, and the assembly at the gate they must not open their mouths. Okay, so notice this wasn't long after the last chapter, which ended with people who are drunkards and brute force fighters and knuckleheads. It says wisdom is too high. So when we get to the higher levels of fighting arts, war arts, martial arts, right? Average, right? Average versus advance, add, vain, see, okay? You know your bloodline, who you are. I am who I am. God said to Moses, okay, we don't end up with the European governing class, Israelis, or any other rich governing class of this world. We end up with the Royal African Falcon Top Martial Arts Order. Okay, show me the Asian guy who's comparable to Martin Luther King, for example. Other people simply don't have that spiritual depth. And the martial artist, the African martial artist, is going to have it more than someone like Martin Luther King, who was just a mere church-formed guy, right? His dad was a preacher or something like that, and he's a preacher. Okay, he wasn't a Royal African Falcon Top Martial Artist. He did it the white man's way to a certain degree, and he wasn't from a specific bloodline of the of the Igbo family. Okay, so he wasn't God's chosen. Again, Igbo, Kuro Obi means back belt. Obi spelled backwards is Igbo. And Obi in Igbo means King, Heart, Hut, Temple, Essence, Center, Core, Christ, what have you. Okay, God's Son, the Skywalker, what have you. All right, not to be confused with pagan Skywalkers, you know, the pagan conception of Horus, but the top martial arts, Royal African Falcon martial arts, universal pinpoint and moral precision, focus, moral intensity, faster, master. The falcon is the fastest animal. The vision flies closest to the sun. The sun is a symbol of bridegroom, symbol of God, what have you. All right, Saying 24, whoever plots evil will be known as a schemer. The schemes of folly are sin, and people detest a mocker. People detest people that cheat the righteous, whether they consciously connect them to cheating me or not. It's part of why there's 50% divorce rate and all kinds of pathetic relationships that are taking place. If you falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength? Rescue those being led away to death, to spiritual death. Hold back those staggering toward slaughter, toward spiritual slaughter, toward going to hell. Okay? So this is the most important time in history. You see me go on and on. You've heard me go on and on about this if you've been watching my videos. About this is the most important time in human history, the most important time it will ever be for humans in the flesh. Okay, after this, they'll just be cut off from God. This is a very serious time, a time of trouble, and people are failing, they're faltering in a time of trouble. So how small is their spiritual strength? That's part of why it's easy to see, and there's a laundry list of reasons why it's easy to see that I'm the top martial artist and the top martial artist ever possible. All right, rescue those being led away to spiritual death, hold back those staggering towards spiritual slaughter. If you say, but we knew nothing about this, does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who guards your life know it? Will he not repay everyone according to what they have done? God and I will merge together. God already knows it. I'll know it even more. And there will be trouble for you and your offspring in the spiritual realm. Eat honey, my son, for it is good. Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know also that wisdom is the honey for you. If you find it, there is hope, there is a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. So again, see how they use honey to describe wisdom. Okay, and of course, honey says, my honey, it's a word, like baby, that people call people they date and so on and so forth. Okay, so be wise in regards to who you date. Saying 27, do not lurk like a thief near the house of the righteous. Do not plunder their dwelling place. Write this down. Proverbs 24:15. Okay, do not cheat me out of my right to lead. Do not cheat me out of public recognition. Okay, that is a form of plundering the righteous, robbing the righteous, right? Pirate, thief, Baal, thief, right? To snake, right? The ancient serpent, the devil, what have you. Idolaters and the devil go hand in hand. So again, do not lurk like a thief near the house of the righteous. Do not plunder their dwelling place. For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. But the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. Okay, on judgment day, when they die, what have you. Do not gloat when your enemy falls. When they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice. The Lord will see and disapprove and turn his wrath away from them. Okay, so obviously, it's not the same as wisdom's rebuke. Wisdom says they will laugh when trouble occurs. This is for somebody who's not very spiritually powerful, okay, who's trying to get into the divine order. It says start training yourself and don't laugh when somebody suffers. And also it's the form of laughing. Don't act like a demon when people are sent to hell. But I use it appropriately. I'm supposed to wage war with the double-edged sword of Scripture in Revelations, the sharp double-edged sword, which has to do with instruction and discipline and making examples of people. When I say things like, every second 2 people on average die and go to hell. Okay, it's not the same as me gloating and celebrating, say, yeah, woohoo. It is chastising people. It is serious. It is making an example. What have you. All right. Do not fret because of evildoers or be envious of the wicked, for the evildoer has no future hope, and the lamp of the wicked will be snuffed out. Okay, so in a sense, saying that is, somebody argues gloating over people's spiritual death and going to hell, but it's making an example, so on and so forth. Saying 30, fear the Lord and the king, my son, and do not join with rebellious officials, for those two will send sudden destruction on them, and who will know what calamities they can bring. So don't rebel. So again, don't plunder the house of the righteous. Don't cheat me out of my right to lead. Okay, and don't join in rebellious officials. Don't be a rebel. You're cheating me out of my right to lead. Okay, because God and I can bring extreme disasters far more than you can imagine. Right? For those two will send sudden destruction on them, and who knows what calamities they can bring. This also goes back to sanity. Those who cheat me out of my right to lead, especially those who are aware of what's going on, everyone else knows that they're cheating the righteous and they're following their cultures. Okay, you have to be a dumbass to miss that. I knew that in fucking pre-kindergarten. Okay, that people who don't obey the righteous are aware. I was aware who's righteous, who's not. Okay, you name a culture, every culture you can imagine, right? Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, Jews, pagans, you name it, atheists, they all know they're following cultural orders and not universally morally righteous orders. When they hear about people like Martin Luther King and they don't see anybody comparable for their cultures, you think they magically miss that they're following cultures and not morality? Okay, it's stupid as hell. Of course they know they're doing something wrong. Okay, and that creates a kind of fugitive state. It's like, but everyone does that. But that's my culture, that's my religion, but I'm from this country, right? It's stupid. And at the end of the day, they're smothered in guilt, they're swimming in guilt, and they're not thinking straight. It affects their mental clarity, and it affects their ability to spar outdoors when things are fair. All right. It goes back to the last chapter where they talked about confusion. It's like they're drunk. They're drunk with guilt. They're drunk with the blood of the saints, as they are in the spirit of those who rebelled against the moral order, which caused the death of the saints, the saints, and the righteous. The spirits, the true saints, not the Catholic saints and so on and so forth. Anyway, these are the sayings of the wise. To show partiality in judging is not good. Whoever says to the guilty, you are innocent, will be cursed by peoples and denounced by nations. Whoever says to the rich and to the people in rebellion, other people in rebellion, that you are innocent by marrying them, okay? That's your way of saying by your actions that you think that wicked person who's cheating me out of my right to lead, okay, is innocent of cheating me out of my right to lead, okay? So they are cursed, and they are cursed in more than one way. He says, you'll be cursed by people and denounced by nations. Once you become yoked to the typical person of any race, any culture, any group, except for obeying God through me, okay, then you're being cursed by them. They're bringing you down with them. They're cursing you in various ways. Anyway, but it will go well with with those who convict the guilty, and rich blessings will come on them. An honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. Again, they're overkilling it. They're comparing it to a kiss on the lips. It says, look, stop dating the guilty and saying they're innocent with your actions. Instead, date the way, the truth, and the life, and those in the divine order. If there's no one available in the divine order, then don't date anyone, okay? Because you're not supposed to have sex with the wicked. You're not supposed to kiss them. You're not supposed to be with them. So I'm running out of time real fast. You see that when I tell the truth, especially about romantic justice, as God is love, including romantic love in its pure form, okay, I'm overkilling that I've established the throne of justice. Why everyone else is not bringing up outdoor sparring. They're not pointing to the Royal African Falcon top martial arts order and so on. They're pointing to their nations, cultures, families, races, you name it. Okay, they're cheating. They're snakes. They're creating confusion. They're deceiving and creating rape by deception as people are confused about who to date and so on and so forth and what to do. All right. Put your outdoor work in order and get your fields ready, and after that build your house. Do not testify against your neighbor without cause. Would you use your lips to mislead? Do not say, I'll do to them as they have done to me. I'll pay them back for what they did. I went past the field of a sluggard, past the vineyard of someone who had no sense, specifically sense, right? Sensei, the essential alpha essence to sense the presence of God and to convey God's spirit. Thorns had come up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds, and the stone wall was in ruins. I applied my heart to what I observed and learned a lesson from what I saw. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. Again, Jesus said, I will come back like a thief in the night in the Bible. Okay? So what has happened here is I've come back, right? The Spirit of God, when I was born, I come into the Spirit, etc. I've come back, and thieves are abusing everybody. So it's interesting how these words connect. They don't usually connect straight up quite often. Okay? They connect in that kind of roundabout way. I'm not the thief. You people are stealing. Okay? And as you perceive your order to be, to be what you should do, you see me as doing something I'm not supposed to do, which is cheating people, but I'm not. You're the one cheating. Cheat. See, he, at, right? How do they confuse how I look and how I sound? See, and also he, cat, scramble, and see, heat, right, versus snow, justice, just ice, okay, ice, immigration, customs enforcement, customs, okay, your customs and traditions and mere human rules are cheating me. But you're in the spirit of those who are like, hey, fall in line. You're cheating. That's not how the game works. And we're playing a theater arts game. You see what I'm saying? And that's how that connects. Again, the vineyard of a sluggard, those who are too lazy to accept the adversity and the extra work that comes with obeying God through me.